The Blackhawks lose a 4-3 heartbreaker in overtime to the Boston Bruins. Bedard, Crevier, and Burakovsky score for the Hawks. We'll wrap it up next on the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. This is the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Mario Tirabassi. Sean Anderson's running the show for us tonight in a very busy night at CHGO. The Hawks lose 4-3 to the Bruins in overtime. Bedard, Louis Crevier, Andre Burakovsky all score for the Hawks. Arvid Soderblom got the start and was pretty good. Boy, there's a lot to get to in this one, Mario. But before we get granular into what went right, what went wrong, it is really nice to be invested in a game again and really, really care about the outcome and really, honestly, I was really kind of proud of the way the Hawks played tonight. They battled their asses off. Mm-hmm. They never backed down. They came back a bunch of times from down and just did not back down. They had the edge in play in overtime almost the entire frame. And then Renzel falls down in the corner. Boston's off on a 2-on-1 way, and that's the end of the game. And, overtime's a coin toss. But, man, the Hawks had two glorious chances in OT. They are competing. They are battling. They are fighting, and I love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, the last, the first two games of the season, they've had you on the edge of your seat. They've had you believing that they weren't out of the game. We talked about it on the pregame show that this team right now, you give them a little bit of confidence, you give them a little bit of self-belief, and that just builds. And I think you saw it tonight. They give up the first goal of the game a couple minutes in, but they come back and tie it up. They didn't let that snowball. Then they get out to the 2-1 lead, and the Bruins battle back, tie it. They take the lead early in the third, and then the Hawks, they keep with it. They kept putting on the pressure. They built up some momentum. I think the big thing from tonight was that there was no backing down.
Nope. And
whether you were trailing on the scoreboard or whether it was shenanigans, they weren't backing down. And I think that's what you wanted to see from the group at times last season, that you just kind of felt like, it just seems like the fight is lacking. And tonight, they really had it. And I never felt like the loss was inevitable.
No,
there were
not at all.
I don't know how many times last year, at either just going into the game, it was well, they're just going to get walked. That's just, they're playing, the Panthers or the Avalanche or whatever. Or, it'd be the third period, they'd be down 1, but then they would just be run out of the arena. This team through 2 games gives you no indication that they are out of a game or that they're not going to fight until the final horn goes.
I think you could make the argument that the Hawks were the better team in this game. And
it was close.
There were highs and lows, as there's going to be. You can tell that this team has not fully gotten used to what's going on system-wise. There were 3 instances in this game where a Blackhawk threw a puck to an area where there was no other Blackhawk. Wyatt Kaiser did it. Teuvo Teravainen did it. Connor Bedard did it. Mm-hmm. And when you see guys of that caliber making those kind of mistakes, that is not truly understanding the system yet, not knowing where guys are going to be just yet, learning the habits of your teammates, those sort of things. When this team gets through, as Jeff Blashill said, a month of playing together, playing the system, penalty kill, power play, all those sort of things, and things start clicking, they're going to be a problem for some teams. And look, are they still probably a bottom 5 team in this league? Maybe. But I feel a lot better saying, you know what, they might surprise some people this season. I feel way more confident in that now than I did a week ago or 2 weeks ago, because you have seen them go toe-to-toe with the Florida Panthers, and we don't really know what the Bruins are yet. They are 2-0, but last night wasn't overly impressive, and tonight wasn't overly impressive, but they're 2-0.
But yeah, right.
So, you got to give them some kind of credit. They're hanging in, man. They're hanging in there. They're punching back when they get punched, and sometimes they're throwing the first punch, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I really like the way that it feels like this team has kind of come together very quickly, and I don't think it would be fair to leave Jeff Blashill out of this conversation. His demeanor, the way he ran training camp was a different level of intensity, a different level of expectation. Mental mistakes, physical mistakes were met with consequences, and they weren't hugely punishing, but that sucked. Go hit the boards and back. Let's go. Do it again.
Right.
Do it again. Do it again. He is trying to build a culture here that has not been here for a while. And as he said in the preseason, when practice is hard, the games are easier.
Yes.
And he's working these guys through that. And man, and Caitlin mentions it in the chat, him yelling at the referees during how Frank Nazar gets a penalty for getting cross-checked is beyond me. But right there, you've got Blashill in front of the bench, MFing the referee. Players see that. And you as a fan might be like, okay, this is dumb. It matters to the players.
No, the response I saw online, and I'm sure we'll see in the chat about that moment, that doesn't go unnoticed by the fans either, because that was a, make of it what you will, but that was a sticking point with Richardson and with Sorensen, is that they wouldn't yell at the referees. And it got to a point where, on the beat, we were asking them, like, why don't you yell at the refs? Like, what is it like everyone else does? But yeah, I mean, that makes a difference. You want to see, those players, of course, they have that mentality of like, we're going to battle for each other, but they also, you feed off of seeing that your coaching staff is going to go to battle for you too. And it's just like a very baseline standard thing that you want to see your coaches have the backs of your players. And, rightfully so. Blashill was chewing into the ref in that situation, because it was ridiculous that Frank Nazar in that scrum for getting a 2x4 from Nikita Zadorov, Blackhawks legend,
yes,
in his spine, had to sit for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get
unless
that
I
one.
missed something during the scrum, which I don't think I did. There's no reason Frank Nazar's in the box.
No, and just the chat also loving it. Ralph J with his super chat saying, how about the effing scrum? So much teamwork and heart. Jason also saying, love seeing this team play with jam and play for each other.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got guys like Nazar and Bedard getting in the face of guys like Zadorov. They don't care. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's not. And there's also a moment in this game late in the third. There's times expiring. There's about 6 or 7 seconds left. Bedard's at the end of a shift, and I didn't write down who the Boston player was, but it could have been an odd man rush. Bedard chased him down, rubbed him off the puck, knocked him off the puck, and they got the game to overtime. Hustle, back check. You're seeing that commitment from the top of the roster to the bottom. Being 0-1-1 sucks, and it's frustrating, and this game was there for the taking. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show, but just looking at the chat, looking at the vibes online, it's 99% positive for what we've seen from the Hawks here.
I think it's encouraging. I mean, is it entirely surprising that you're walking away from the first 2 games of the season without a win? Not really, but if you told me that this is the fashion in which they do it, I'm okay with it, because that's what we've talked about going into this season is the wins and losses. They may not be all that different from what it was last year. Yeah, you hope for a few more wins because you'd imagine the team should be a little bit better than last year. But how they get there, how it looks, what is the path to game 82 look like and feel like, because that's gonna make a bigger difference than necessarily the total wins and losses. And through the first 2 games, like I said, like this feels like a team that has a different feel to it, a different vibe to it. The speed and the team speed that they play with, the skill that they have, it feels like guys are kind of in the right spots that they need to. Like the right guys are playing with the right players. And I think you just, as you get into the season, some of that early season sloppiness will hopefully fade away, and the game will feel, the play will be a bit crisper. The understanding of the system will be a little bit more ingrained, and things will be a little bit more natural as the season goes on. And I think that's going to make a big difference. With these first 2 games, they're setting a good baseline of like what it takes to be competitive in the NHL. And with a lot of these young guys, like that's going to be a big learning curve, because as Jeff Blashill said, it's an every night league, night in and night out, game after game. You're going to have to give that level of effort. So I'm encouraged through the first 2 games. This was there for the taking. You are 2 incredible saves in overtime.
Really,
you want to say, the game doesn't come down to one play. It came down to those 2 saves. Eunice Korpisalo made a
paddle
incredible
save. There's been a highlight circulating from behind the net, and he really just sticks the paddle out and just guessed correctly.
Gets it, yeah.
And and I don't want to take anything away.
2-on-0 glove save, like, man, I don't know how many times Connor Bedard is gonna not bury a shot one on goalie. Like that was a good effort from Korpisalo. Props to him. But
yeah, there was some. So it's got to be frustrating for these guys. I know that professional athletes don't like moral victories. They don't really want to hear it. But I think deep down they can feel that this is a different group. It's a different team, and they have to feel more in games. Like they actually, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember the last time the Hawks had a Corsi advantage.
In a regular season game?
In a regular season game. And
they might have in one of those last few games at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
And they had it in this game, 43-41 in shot attempts. And they do not, natural stat trick does not have overtime shot attempts.
At 5 on, because you're looking at 5-on-5. Look at even strength.
Oh, yeah, right. So even strength, it was 56-51 in favor of the Bruins, but 3-2 for the Hawks in overtime.
Yeah.
But just, that's all strengths. But, they had a 5-on-3. So
right, yeah. The Bruins had 5 power plays to the Hawks, 2 tonight or 3? Yeah. But even still, looking at all strength, the scoring chances favored the Blackhawks 30-29. They were pretty close in high danger chances, 10-8.
30 scoring chances?
Yeah.
I wonder if they had a single game with that many scoring chances last year.
Scoring chances at even strength, 5-on-5 and overtime included, 25-21 Blackhawks. Like they were in this game. There were a ton of opportunities.
Scoring chances, shots on goal?
It's like
scoring chances are
or Corsi 4.
Not always shots on goal, but scoring chances are like it's opportunities where a goal could have happened, even if the puck doesn't get on net. Does it get to a dangerous spot? And then high danger chances are there's I don't know what the foot radius is, but I think it's like a 10 to 15 foot radius around the net. Those are the higher danger chances.
Last 2 games they won Corsi, the 4th of April against Montreal and the 8th of April against Pittsburgh. And the one against Pittsburgh was by 2 shots. The one by Montreal was like 9.
There you go. Yeah, I mean it feels like a team that is building towards something. And I know it's early. It's 2 games out of 82, but it's an encouraging 2 effort. It's 2 encouraging efforts that you're just short. But as this season goes on, I think efforts like this are going to eventually snowball into stealing some wins.
Last year, by the way, the Hawks averaged 23 scoring chances per game. They had a league low 1,926 scoring chances.
1926.
Their founding year. Yeah. The next team, the 31st team, was Seattle with 2,062.
Oof.
So, yes.
100 fewer chances.
And the scoring chances for percentage last year, the Hawks were the lowest, 42.28%. San Jose, 44.64.
Yeah.
So they were well bottom of the league.
Offensively, not great last year. But I think you look at, again, like, you saw the game that Andrei Burakovsky had from game 1 to game 2, completely different guy. You saw the speed that they played with. Bedard, again, like, last Tuesday night we were talking about he was that close to making stuff happen tonight. 2-point night, like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
All right, Game Puck nominees. We're going to put the poll up there. You're going to vote for the winner of the Game Pucks. Mario, you have the floor.
My Game Puck is going to go to the aforementioned Andrei Burakovsky. I think it took one game for him to kind of like settle in. I knew it's a new setting and everything. A lot of people wanted him off of the top line, but Jeff Blashill kept him up there. And I think tonight you saw a really good feed to Bedard on the first goal of the game. And that's an element of his game that he can bring to that line and bring specifically to Connor Bedard, is a guy that has the skill to make plays like that. So, and he scored the game tying goal at the time, the third goal. A really good play, smart play by Artem Levshunov on that setup to Burakovsky. So goal and assist for him. He gets my Game Puck.
I'm giving my Game Puck to Connor Bedard. 1 goal, 1 assist. He had 7 shot attempts, 0 for 5 on the faceoff dot, 40% as a team. Not great, but otherwise, Connor Bedard was a difference. Back checking, neutral zone play, looked fast again. And as Lebowski 5 mentions, Bedard has been in more scrums in his 2 years in the NHL than Patrick Kane his entire career. Not saying that's good, just something of note. I think earlier somebody said they were more excited about Bedard being involved in scrums than they were about the potential of 2 points. So Bedard gets mine, Burakovsky gets Mario's. We'll put the poll up on YouTube. Get those votes in. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show. We are going to hit the break zone for the first time. When we come back, let's talk about some of the individual performances. Once again, a lot of people want to talk about Artem Levshunov. We're happy to engage that conversation because it is fascinating. Back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks.
Hey, do you like wagering on football?
Yes.
If you do, check out our friends at Bet365. With their early payout offer, you are a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. You can download the Bet365 app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. And when you do that, if you're a new customer, you're eligible for $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Just sign up, use that code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a $5 bet, and win or lose, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. And if you like Sunday Night Football, they have a $365,000 jackpot going on. Place a $10 bet on the first touchdown scorer and get a split of $365,000 in bonus bets if your player scores the final touchdown of the game. You can sign up, Bet365, CHGO365. Use that code. Get those $200 in bonus bets, which can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And let's be real for a second. The world has gone soft. Did you see some of those calls by those referees in the third period? What is that?
Those were soft. Those were not RC calls.
I know it's the Boston crowd, and you're maybe afraid for your life leaving there, but it's your job. Call the game straight. Be tough. Well, you know what's not soft? RC Cola. It's the original cola that doesn't fold under pressure. RC is an OG in a world of spineless soft drinks. Your kombucha that helps your little tummy tums? Oh, I got a little tummy ache. I need a little drinky drink. I need a probiotic soda. No!
Cola.
RC Cola is going to rip your guts out, yell at them, and stuff them back in and tell them to be a man. All right?
It'll clean you out, and then it'll clean your toilet.
That's right. RC hasn't changed their stripes since 1905, because why would they? It's already great. Do yourself a favor. Get some for the football games this weekend. Stock up. Get your fridge ready. RC Cola is not a soft drink. Just damn good Cola.
Damn good.
Damn. I get to say damn on the show. That's fun.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
All right. Can we do,
RC encourages
this is going to be the annual, or the every game conversation about Artem Levshunov. And, if you're calling for Artem Levshunov to be dispatched to Rockford for the rest of the year, I don't know how to help you. Look, there have been some terrifying moments from him. There have been. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. He is way too often in the penalty box. I will say the high stick today was a little bit, they were kind of incidentally pushing back and forth. I guess the stick got high. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Not great.
But you also saw the assist on a game-tying goal. He was one of the highest-rated Hawks in this entire game, if you're looking at the fancy stats. I know some people like to look at those. Some people don't. But at 5-on-5, when he was on the ice, the Hawks had 14 shot attempts. They only gave up 8. That's third best on the team behind Burakovsky and Crevier. Mm-hmm. He's moving the puck well. He just needs some time. And if you want this team to go young, you're going to have to live with the mistakes of young players. Artem Levshunov is 19 years old. Mm-hmm. He is learning to speak English on the fly in his first pro season. He has been in the AHL, the NCAA, the ECHL. What am I forgetting over the last 4 seasons?
He was in the USHL.
He has been all over the world, all over the country, in all different leagues. And you knew when you drafted him that there was going to be a learning curve from reckless, risk-taking, I am fast enough to make up for all my mistakes, Artem Levshunov, to learn now, hey, man, it's the NHL. Here's a risk you can take. Here's a risk you can't. He's learning those on the job.
Yeah.
He's learning those on a job. We've got to be patient. We can't be pulling the trigger on a young player 2 games into his season because he's made a couple bad plays. He's not alone. Sam Renzel has made some bad plays. Mm-hmm. Connor Murphy has made some bad plays. Like, it is coming with the territory, and there is this microscope on Levshunov because more than half of the fan base wanted Demidov instead. So it's being looked at.
Yeah, we need to reframe how we're looking at Artem Levshunov. Like, you have to take the Demidov glasses off and look at Artem Levshunov now in his second season as a member of the Blackhawks organization, as his own player. You can't look at 55 on the ice and read the name on the back of the jersey as not Demidov.
Right.
Like, you have to look at him as his own player. Like, and look,
it's like the narrative's already been written.
We were all on this show. Yeah. We wanted Ivan Demidov, but Blackhawks went a different direction. So you have to lean into what you have, and you have a guy in Artem Levshunov that is going to learn the NHL game. Duncan Keith is going into the Hall of Fame, or is in the Hall of Fame. And at 19, what was he doing? Playing in college.
Yeah.
When he was 20, what was he doing? Playing in the WHL, I think. When he was 21, he was in Norfolk. Yeah. When he was 22, he was in the NHL, and he looked bad.
He was lost. And so was Seabrook.
So it takes some time. I know we all want these teenagers to jump on the NHL ice and be all in Rookie of the Year conversation and all that. And I'm not excluding Levshunov 2 games into it from that conversation. But there's gotta be patience here. And as this wave of the rebuild hits with all of these guys, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be highlight games for Bedard and Nazar and Renzel, and there's going to be simultaneously some games that are stinkers for guys like Ryan Green or Levshunov or anything like that. Tonight, Levshunov, yes, there were some moments where you're like, oof, okay, that's something we got to
I'm seeing a lot of thinking from him out there.
But there's also moments where he's making the right play, where he's making the right read, where he's closing out a defender, or he's getting to a puck first. Like, there's still a lot of positives that he can build on, but of course there's going to be times where you're going to go back, look at the tape, and hopefully learn from it. So I think putting the hook on Levshunov right now is way too premature. And look, like, I think you look at what you have in the organization right now. And on the right side, for the guy you want him to be, you have no one else to give that opportunity to. You're not going to give power play time to Louis Crevier on the right side. You're not going to give top minutes to a guy like that. So give it to Levshunov. Let him learn. And if it becomes so egregious, if we're into November and he's learning nothing, okay, then you say let's hit the reset button here and try and get things going in the right direction. But I think through 2 games, yes, there's learning moments, but as we were saying on the play that set up the 3-3 goal, like coming in on that rush, coming into the spot that he was in, he could have just had that puck and fired it on net. Maybe it's still a good look, but he had the awareness and the wherewithal to lay that off to Burakovsky, and he had tons of room to get the shot off, and he scores. So it's moments like that where you're like, that is the guy making the smart play rather than trying to force something.
And there have been, in both games, there have been those moments from Levshunov where you're like, oh wow, like there that is. Have there been more bad, oh my God, what are you doing moments so far in 2 games? 100%. Yes, there have been. The idea with Levshunov is that it evens out over time, and eventually the good far outweighs the bad. Yeah. And then you're talking about an all-star level defenseman, which is what everyone who has scouted Artem Levshunov from the first time they laid eyes on him to the day he was drafted all say, number 1 all-star level defenseman.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I just want to speak for the chat. To describe his play, some have said lackadaisical, some have said non-physical.
Okay, so if you watched him play at Michigan State at all, you saw a physical, confident defenseman who enjoyed laying checks on people. Right now, you can observe Artem Levshunov thinking on the ice. When you see him like indecisive or looking slow or not engaged, it's because he is thinking, he is processing, he is trying not to make a mistake. We talked about this about Kirby Dach for years. As you see this young player on the ice trying not to do the wrong thing, and by the time you've decided what the thing to do is, it's too late and the puck's going the other way.
Yeah.
So give it time. You've got to give him more than 2 games against the defending Stanley Cup champions and the not as good Boston Bruins. But like, was he better against the Bruins than he was against the Panthers?
Yes, he was.
Yes, significantly so.
And even to the lack of lackadaisical play, the assist was very nice. He didn't do too much. Well, he drew the defender in, passed it into Burakovsky, wide open lane.
And that's the thing. So some people in the chat saying you got to scratch Levshunov and put Nolan Allen in. Nothing against Nolan Allen. If Nolan Allen's on the ice, that play doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That puck is not laid on Burakovsky's stick that way. It's just not. They're different players. And with dynamic, and what we said about Levshunov since he was drafted, even before, is that he's kind of a unique player. There's not a lot of guys that play like him. And it's going to be up to the Hawks to figure out what makes him tick. Wyatt Kaiser is working his ass off to figure it out and be the best partner he can for him. Some videos, Blackhawks Focus on Twitter, one of the best accounts going, found a clip of Kaiser literally yelling at him during the last game saying, Artie, be ready.
Yeah.
Telling him, I'm going to get the puck to you. That's the stuff. It's getting him prepared and up to NHL speed. It will come with time. Look, we want the team to get points this year. We're pretty confident they're going to get points. He was a big part of the reason they got a point tonight. Yeah. But we've got to be patient and realize the context of this is still development.
Tonight, at all strengths, the highest expected goals for percentage at 76.95% belongs to Artem Levshunov. The next highest in that category, 65.98% from Andrei Burakovsky. So with him on the ice, that advanced metric, expected goals percentage, a 3-to-1 advantage of, the opportunity and the expectation to make something happen with him on the ice.
And look, Wyatt Kaiser gets some credit for that too. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
because Wyatt Kaiser
he's got to play the safety valve.
I would argue that Wyatt Kaiser has been the Hawks' best defenseman so far this season. and I don't think it's particularly close.
He's been very good.
Real quick, final thing, that Aaron super chat, $5 from Aaron. Thank you very much. Maybe it's the meathead in me, but I'm more impressed by Bedard being more involved in scrums than getting 2 points. Levshunov just played his 20th game, only 19. Bedard is 152nd. So obviously way different body sizes, different positions.
Yeah.
But it's very early in Levshunov's career.
Yeah. By the way, congrats to Wyatt Kaiser, 100th NHL game tonight.
Yes. Yeah, that's good for him.
There you go.
Going to be someone. Who else is close to 100? Trying to think. Someone else was at like 98 games.
Nick Foligno. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about age.
Nah.
We know he's watching. Hi, Nick.
He's definitely listening.
He's watching in the plane.
On the plane.
All right, we are queuing up Jeff Blashill and maybe some select other Blackhawks. Do us a favor. We've not even asked you to do this yet, but you've done it. Keep doing it. Hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. If you're listening on the podcast later on, make sure you're following or subscribed. And check us out on YouTube. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at our beautiful faces after a game.
If you want.
It's appealing. All right, we're going to hit the break zone. Back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks, presented by Bet365. Don't want to smell.
No.
Right?
Never.
Fall's here. The air is crisp. Football, maybe a bonfire is going on this weekend.
I think I'm okay.
But if you're like most guys, you're still putting in hard work. Unless you're Artem Levshunov, am I right? Hello. And that means you're sweaty and stinky. Don't let BO sideline you. You need Mando. Mando deodorant plus sweat control. This isn't just another cover-up. Mando is one stick, 2 jobs. Powerful odor and sweat control. It's got clinical strength sweat control. One swipe and you're good to go and control sweat and odor for 72 hours. And after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. This stuff works. We've used it. It's great. Mando Starter Pack is great for new customers. If you've never tried it before, it comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes. Keep those deodorant wipes in your glove box. They're great. And free shipping. Visit SHOPMANDO. That's shopmando.com for 20% off store-wide and free shipping. Again, that's code CHGO at shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness.
Hey, athletes, here's a question. Are you serious about leveling up your game? Because the right coach can change everything, and now finding one is easy with Eye on the Ball. It doesn't matter if you're a kid just starting out or competing at the top levels. You can sign up totally free at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile and search through coaches in your sport and connect directly with the one that's right from you. From soccer to swimming to baseball to basketball to football and hockey, you name it, the coaches are out there. So what are you waiting for? Your future coach could be one click away. Jump on today at eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. Find your coach and take your game to the next level. Get coached up. Maybe we need to sign up Artem Levshunov with a coach at eyeontheball.net.
I'm not doing this. I'm not. Are we done? Can we continue the show?
Yes.
I'm just not doing this all year. Like, if you want to be miserable about Artem Levshunov, feel free.
Hey, guess who they play on Saturday?
We knew this is what it was going to be. We knew this is what it was going to be. An adventure. We knew Levshunov was going to have moments where we're like, dude, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Patience. Everyone take a deep breath.
Do you want a real hockey question?
Yes.
K3MPIN. Sorry. Kempin. $2 super chat. Do we like having Lev on the power play? Too much to process.
I think counterpoint. who else are you putting out there?
I think the first answer would be Vlasic. But Vlasic played 19-10 today. Yeah, Grizzlick has not been my favorite so far either.
No.
He was a +1.
Sure.
I feel like every time I saw the puck in the back of the net, I saw Matt Grizzlick going, hey, look, the puck in the back of the net.
He was on the ice for the Bedard goal. I know that.
Yeah. No, he's
I don't know. I keep Levshunov on the power play. I mean, your power play defensemen are Sam Rinzel and Artem Levshunov, who combined have less than 25, 30 games of NHL experience. Like that's going through. That's going to be going through some getting used to, going through some growing pains on the power play. But you look at who they're on the power play with.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of the forwards on those groups, I think they play off of those defensemen well. The one thing I'll say about Levshunov is I would be more okay with how he's been. The biggest gripe I have is just when he has the puck, I just want a little bit more urgency with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want a little bit more of like, if you're going to make the pass, make it. Make it with your chest. Like, put something behind behind your passes and just. And I think that could go into the point that you're making about him, like thinking too much. Like, is he thinking that's
trying
the right
to be
pass?
too careful?
Is he trying to? Yeah, like I think there's just something of let's like if you're making the play, make it confidently, and that can just come with time. But I think that would be my biggest gripe out of anything is just. You know, the saying is just like if you're going to make a mistake, at least make it at 100 miles per hour. I'd rather see Artem Levshunov making mistakes if he's going to make a mistake with the puck, be it that it's the wrong pass, but he's got something underneath it, you know?
Yeah, I see a question from our friend, the Majestic American Woodcock, who says the question isn't if Levshunov's going to be a bust. The question is whether it's best for him to learn these lessons at the NHL level. For now, I am comfortable with it. Now, if we're 10, 15 games into the year and he's still taking 2 careless stick penalties a game and turning the puck over multiple times a game, then we have the conversation.
There's got to be consequences.
I'm not doing it 2 games in. I think it's premature. I think that a lot of the underlying stuff for him has been good. To answer the power play question, he does have a knack for getting a shot through, which is kind of a weird, like, how can that be a talent? But he does seem to and Blashill said this too about him, is he's got a way, he just seems to understand puck placement where if there's traffic in front, he finds a way to get it on net or at least close to the net, which is a big factor on the power play. The other thing too is, could Alex Vlasic do it? Sure. I think that he's fully capable of being a power play 2 quarterback. Absolutely, 100%. But at this point, with Seth Jones gone, Alex Vlasic is the defender I trust the most, and I kind of want to preserve his minutes to defend the opponent's top players and be out there when they face Nick Suzuki and Ivan Demidov and Logan Cooley and, you know, like when those guys are out there, I want Vlasic out there. I don't want him gassed after a power play. I want my best defender out there defending and take that off the table. I think Levshunov has a gift for puck movement. He has a gift for getting the puck through on the net. We're going to have to live with the mistakes. Look, as exciting as competitive as they've been, it's not a playoff team. They're not. They're just not a playoff team.
Not yet.
So you can live with this a little bit. You can live with these mistakes. And could he go to Rockford and sort of be taught the same thing? Sure. But you're putting him up against players he's significantly better than. And are you challenging him then? Does he feel challenged in Rockford?
Probably
or is he
not.
gonna? It was the same kind of idea of like, and I think looking back on it, we can have this discussion some other day next summer. Like maybe Korchinski should have gone back to Seattle. But does Kevin Korchinski learn as a 19-year-old Seattle putting up 115 points in a league that he's clearly outgrown, or is he better off learning at the highest level? And it might suck for a while, and it might be really hard for a while, and he might have to go to Rockford for a while. But like. I don't know. I think you could do a guy a disservice by not challenging them at all.
Yeah, I think you want to. Some people respond differently to the challenges you put in front of them, and some guys it might be like, "Hey, we're throwing you into the deep end," and they don't swim their way out of it, and then you kind of have to rewind. And try a different approach. Some guys, you need to throw them into that deep end because putting them in the shallow end, they're just standing up and just being like, "This isn't a challenge to me. I can stand here." Like, and I feel like Levshunov in the AHL is in the shallow end, and I think he knows that too. I'm not going to say that he didn't try in the AHL, but I think if you paid attention to some of the games where, you know, he wasn't on, quote unquote, I think there's just there's just something to be said for, you know, guys that have the mentality of just like, I want to have more of a challenge. I want to face the highest competition that I can. And even though he's trying to work on things, learn things, build all these things that they want him to do, he's got an understanding of just like, I'm sure he has an understanding. I don't want to put words in his mouth or thoughts in his head or whatever, but I'm sure he has some sort of understanding of like, I'm going to be in the NHL. I'm supposed to be in the NHL. I am talented enough to be in the NHL. I want to be in the NHL. And so a Tuesday night game in Des Moines, like he's probably not getting super jacked up for that. So you put him in the NHL, you put him into those opportunities, and you challenge him. You give him that amount of responsibility on his plate and see how he does with it. And I think there were times last year where he was in the NHL and he really struggled, and then there were games where he really shined. And tonight through 2 games, he's had one, not a great effort, and one tonight where I'd say pretty good. Like on the whole, the way that he played tonight as a collective, I'm fine with it.
Well, why don't we hear what Jeff Blashill had to say about this game? He's not actually standing by. This is recorded, but we're going to play him. We need an update on Jason Dickinson, too, who left the game and did not return. Hopefully that is addressed by Jeff Blashill here.
How would you assess that game?
I thought we definitely took steps forward in a lot of like winning plays, winning habits, stopping on pucks. A lot of the stuff that we showed yesterday, there's zero doubt we were better at that in a lot of areas. So that's not like that's a kind of a view from afar. Just looking at that, those are big things I think for us to continue to get better. The game ebbed and flowed. I thought both teams kind of had momentum swings. In the second, I thought there was a time where we looked like we were going to take it over a little bit, and then they kind of pressed back. And then in the end, you get a chance to win the game. Now, the disappointing part is, we want to find ways to win these close games. We've been in 2 now in a row. We've lost both of them. Yes, we got a point, but we still lost both of them. So we got to find a way to win these close games. We want to keep putting ourselves in this position. To do that, you got to have great winning habits. And again, I thought we took a step forward with that. And I thought for the second night in a row, our goaltending was really good, especially as it got a little chaotic in that 3-on-3 and the penalty kill.
Any update on Dickinson?
No, I'll know more tomorrow, but no real update yet. Obviously, didn't finish the game, so that's not awesome. So we'll see where it goes.
That play by Levshunov where he took the penalty and then kind of stopped playing for a minute or a second or two. What do you say to him after that?
I haven't seen the penalty yet, to be honest with you, so I got to still see that. I didn't really see the whole play. We were trying to sort out who was kind of going, so I still got to take a look at it a little bit more. Obviously you can never stop playing, so we'll look at that, and like all our young D, keep teaching them.
What do you think of his game overall? He had a nice assist on the goal by Burakovsky.
He's got ability to make those plays. I thought he jumped in the play and did some good things that way. So that's good. I think it's kind of up and down, but I think it's again we just got to kind of even out the swing. So it's a learning process, and I think it's super important to remember how young he is. And it's going to be there's going to be some ups and downs. There's a lot to learn as a defenseman in this league, but I thought he did some good things.
What went into the decision with 70?
Well, first off, I want to get guys in the lineup, so trying to make a plan to try to get different players in. I don't want to go multiple games without you guys getting into one of these games here. So that's an easy way to do it, number one. It's way easier to do on the road than at home, or I would say more of an advantage because it's a harder match then. What that did for us, it allowed us to play Connor with different guys, get them out in different looks. So it's way harder, to match that sometimes from an opponent's perspective. And it kind of even out the minutes a little bit on that right side. Louis killing penalties for us, so it kind of went Murph Louis. So that hopefully helped. I haven't looked, and I'm sure the minutes racked up a little bit late, but that helps Rins' minutes too. So that was something we wanted to address.
It seemed like you pulled back from Bedard on the face-offs as the game went on. Do you need just him to get better at that, or we're sort of?
That wasn't on purpose. It wasn't. It was more just the time when guys were going out. Certainly, does Connor and Frankie and our crew need to get better face-offs? 100%. And we'll keep working on it. But it wasn't. That was not a coaching decision on face-offs per se. It was more just the situation in the game.
Ryan Green seemed like he really stepped up after Jason got hurt. What did you think of him?
I've really liked Ryan's game here. Dating back to the latter preseason games into now. What I like the most is, we talked about things he's going to have to do to be more successful in this league, and And he's doing those things, and mainly just skating to battles and winning puck battles. And if he does that, he's a really good player. He's smart. He's strong on his skates. He's got good skill. He's good defensively. He's pretty good on faceoffs generally. So I've been real pleased with him.
With Burakovsky with the goal and assist, I mean, it seems like he's getting more comfortable and doing what you guys kind of hope he do this season.
Yeah, I thought he was really going tonight. Really going actually. I thought he was provided a spark a number of times. He definitely, he's got a lot of ability. And so when Connor and him are playing together, I think there's a lot of ability out there. He knows how to play with really good players. He's done it before. So he knows how to kind of get the puck to them in the right spots, and so I think that's a real positive.
How'd you feel with Dach with them?
I thought Docker was good. Obviously, I don't think it was as much time as you would if you had 4 lines and you kind of went because we were kind of mixing it up a little bit. So, but I thought Docker played another good game. Not enough for me to really comment on the line in totality because it was a little bit of a mixed bag. Thanks.
All right, that's Jeff Blashill, courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks. We thank them for use of that video. We're going to hear from Connor Bedard later in the show. We're also going to reveal the winner of our game pucks. We need to talk about Colton Dach a little bit, too. He just ended there, but had an opportunity on the top line in this one. So let's hit the break zone one more time when we come back. Bedard, Dach, Fred House, and Madison, a whole bunch more coming up in the last segment here on CHGO Blackhawks. And Chicago Sports Network is the official TV and streaming home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, broadcasting over 300 live games per year. CHN offers a couple things for you. The All Access plan, that's $29.99 a month, and that gives you access to all the games and programming on the network. And they also offer individual team plans, that's $20 a month. That gives you access to games of the team you select. So you can go $29.99, all 3, all the programming, or $19.99, just Hawks, just Bulls, just Sox. Pick what you want. You can sign up to watch CHSN at chsn.com, or you can watch via the CHSN app, which can be downloaded on Apple and Android devices, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and Samsung TV. CHSN, not CHGO, is also available on Xfinity, DirecTV, DirecTV Stream, and Fubo. Visit chsn.com for more details.
We've got deals sweeter than candy this Halloween at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. Come in today to shop the No Tricks, Just Treats sales event and drive home with 0% financing, $0 down with no payments until 2026, and 0 hidden fees on select new Chevrolet models. Or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of the Chicagoland area's largest Chevy inventories, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive, so you know you'll get a great deal. And with Ray's price promise, that lets you shop confidently because the price you see is the price you pay. Don't miss out on their No Tricks, Just Treats sales event going on all month long for 0% financing, $0 down with no payments until 2026, and no hidden fees on select new Chevrolet models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
All right, and we're back on CHGO Blackhawks, powered by Bet365. Before we hear from Connor Bedard, let's talk about Colton Dach's game a little bit. As Blashill said, lines getting mixed up a lot, especially with Dickinson going down and only playing with 11 forwards to start. Dach ended with an assist, 13-22 of ice time, 2 shots on goal, another shot attempt, 6 hits, a giveaway, a takeaway, 1-2, and lost 1 faceoff. Really took a hit to make the play on the Bedard goal. Yeah. If he does not absorb that hit, get the puck over to Burakovsky, who made a beautiful cross-ice pass to Bedard, who one-timed it for a rocket past Korpisalo, that play never happens. That goal never happens. Colton Dach paying the price, and I really like seeing, despite the limited ice time, the 13-22, 6 hits. He's engaged physically. I'm ready to give that another look against Montreal.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen anything tonight to have to change that. Again, I think he had a really solid effort. I mean, when you get down to 10 forwards, things are going to get kind of screwy. And, Bedard was all over the lineup, trying to maximize his ice time and everything. So you didn't really get to see a ton of time with Dach and Bedard and Burakovsky working together. But yeah, I mean, made the sacrificial play to get the puck to Burakovsky on that Bedard goal. You like to see that. He was getting to the net front. He was in some of the scrums. Like that's again, that is what Colton Dach is going to have to do,
Yes.
and the role that he can play, should play, and is willing to play with the Hawks. And I think there's no reason tonight to go into Saturday's game with a new combination for Connor Bedard to play with. Keep Burakovsky and Dach with him. I'm completely satisfied with that.
And it's exactly, what we were talking about in the pregame show about how your top line doesn't have to be 3 top line players, right? And we referenced Brian Bickle, who played on the top line a lot during the dynasty days. And what you have to do in that position is embrace that role. And that's exactly what Colton Dach did today.
Yeah.
Was I'm going to go do the dirty work to get these 2 skilled guys the pucks. And look no further than that goal that Bedard scored with, again, taking the hit, getting the puck to Burakovsky, and letting the skill guys go to work and do their thing. I'm really glad he got an assist on that play because he deserved it, because it doesn't happen without him.
That trio had 7:55 of ice time at 5-on-5. What am I looking at here?
The internet?
Yeah. 7:55 of ice time for that trio. They had the highest Corsi for of any line combination for the Blackhawks tonight, 66.7% at 5-on-5. Their shots for was 7-5, so a 58.33% at 5-on-5. So favorable numbers for those guys as far as creating offense, keeping possession, and I think that's what you want to see. You want to see that top line be able to play that way and control the game, and I think there were moments tonight where Dach was part of that, and I think we're talking about patience with different guys, and Colton Dach, I think, has had a really good training camp in preseason. He's had a good start to the regular season, and even him it's still like you want to make sure that you're not giving him too much too soon, and let these guys grow and earn more on their plate. And I think Dach has done that so far. So it's really encouraging to see him have a game like he did tonight. Also, with the going down to 10 forwards with Jason Dickinson going out, I think Ben Pope was the one that said it in the scrum with Blashill, but Ryan Green, like, he stepped up and had a really good effort tonight too. And this is a guy who technically didn't make the opening night roster, but because of moving guys to injury reserve and all that stuff, they brought him up, played him, and he's looked good in his first 2 games this season. So that's
the reason he was not scratched and Sam Lafferty was.
Yeah. I
mean,
so we'll see what pans out with Dickinson and how the lineup looks for Saturday. But if Dickinson doesn't go, you'd probably see. Well, you'd have to put Lafferty back in,
or Reichel,
and then you put Reichel in, because that gives you 12.
Yeah.
Or you go 11 and 7 again.
He did. Blashill did say it was easier to do that on the road. I don't know. Let's see. Right. I mean, if he's saying I don't want guys to sit too long, Lucas Reichel hasn't played yet. So
right. Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe the 2 games where he sits lights a little bit of a fire under his ass, which has been the issue since the day he was drafted. Maybe this is the final wake-up call for Lucas Reichel. We'll find out, maybe. All right, let's hear from Connor Bedard. Then we're going to reveal the game puck winners and take you to the frat house on Madhouse. Here's Connor Bedard, courtesy of the Blackhawks.
How would you assess that one?
I thought we were better than Tuesday whenever we played. Obviously, we got to find a way to come out with it, but I thought we battled hard, and I thought we got better. But at the end of the day, you gotta get 2 points.
Those 2 chances that you and Frank had there probably felt like you guys were both capable of scoring there in overtime.
I mean, one was a open net, one was a breakaway, so of course we can score those. Goalie makes good saves, and obviously on Frankie's, you just shoot it, and he throws a stick there, and it ends up hitting it. So kudos to him, but of course we always think we can score.
Is there a major takeaway at this point of something you feel you guys need to do better yet, or just leaving it out there?
We just got to find a way to close them out. Both games, Florida was 3-2 game. This game is OT, and I thought there's a lot of positives we can take away from it. But, we're here to win, and, we haven't done that, but we will, and, I think there's good stuff.
What did you like about it? What were the positives that you feel like you'll take away?
Yeah, I thought our battles were better. We were probably better in that area. I love how we bounced back after their goals. Obviously, on their first and third goal, I think we scored maybe the next shift. So that's important. That stuff, and you can't get too high, too low. So there's a lot of stuff we can take away, but obviously a lot of stuff we can get better at, and we will.
What are you seeing from Burakovsky's game as he's getting more adjusted in?
Yeah, he looks great. He's such a smart, calm player, and he's someone that can make plays and slow the game down, speed it up, and just someone that makes the game really easy for guys he's playing with, just with the way he thinks the game and how he competes. So it's been awesome for our team to add a guy like that, and he's going to be big for us.
The last power play looked better, but can you sense what was going on with the first couple there?
Yeah, I think we just got to settle in a bit. A couple of those entries we did get in, and then that next play wasn't great. Obviously, I had a couple of those, and in the end we got to get possession, and that's what we did at the end. Once we're in the zone, we're gonna snap it around. I mean, usually we've been really good on entries, I feel like, and it just hasn't been there the last couple. But that's something we got to get better at, because that'll win us games.
What was that scrum in the third period like?
Fun. It's fun getting those. You're into it, and they're a big physical team, and when you're out there, we don't like them, they don't like us. So that's a fun part of hockey, and obviously I like how we stood up for each other, and not gonna kind of take any shit, even if they're a little bigger.
How important is the veteran presence in this room? We got a lot of guys with some experience.
Yeah, that's big. We got a good mix of a lot of young guys. I mean, we got, I don't know how many guys under 23, 22, and we're all learning as we go. But just having guys that can help us get there, and help us understand some situations is huge, and you need that. And ever since I came in, I've been fortunate to have great guys.
You mentioned young players, and I joined a little late, so if you were asked, I apologize. But what are your impressions on a player like Brian Green?
He's looked great. Obviously, he didn't know if he was coming up on the trip, and he comes in. He's made a big impact. He had a couple looks tonight and a couple great plays, and we knew that when he came in that he was gonna do that. But it's been fun to watch him the last couple games, and I feel like every shift, every period, he's improved, and he's gonna keep getting better, and he's gonna be big for us.
Thank you.
Yeah! We are in the frat house on Madhouse right now. We are highlighting Connor Bedard. I love this music. He said a bad word, so he's grounded. But Connor Bedard, good game today. Goal.
Oh, someone stepped on the electrical
Someone
cord.
spilled their beer on the DJ, man.
Oh man, quit bumping the table.
A goal and assist +1, 21:54 of ice time. I believe that didn't. Nope. It was second on the team behind only Wyatt Kaiser, who played 23-11. 2 shots, 5 more shot attempts for Connor Bedard. He is our Frat House on Madhouse featured player, and he is our game puck winner. Congratulations to Connor Bedard.
Yeah, we need to stop glazing Connor Bedard. Jeez,
so much glaze.
Whole shoals about him. I mean, this night was what Tuesday night could have been, where he had a lot of chances. Tonight he buries it to get the opening goal. Had the game on his stick on that 2-on-0. I mean, it was right there. But good to hear. I mean, good to hear from him after the game about the physicality of the game, the team fighting for each other. Like, that is something that you need to see from this group. Is you want to see that cohesiveness. We talk about this group coming together, growing together. These young guys, like, taking on the organization, being the front facing guys of the organization and taking over the locker room and the vibe and all that stuff. Games like tonight, the atmosphere that you have in it, the way that they played, that all plays into it. So right now you got a group that feels like they're all pulling in the same direction and they have each other's back.
All right, before we wrap up, we got to talk about it. The comeback is complete. Jonathan Toews returned to the ice today for the Winnipeg Jets, played 18-19, took a penalty, had 3 shot attempts, won 7, and lost 8 faceoffs for 47%. Back to the scrap heap with you, Toews, with the bum faceoff numbers. No, it's great to see him back. If you haven't seen it, he got a giant ovation from the Winnipeg Jets fans. Very, very cool. I will say, like, look, it's you spelled it wrong, Sean. How can you have, like, when you talk about your favorite Hawks, I don't know who people have at the top 5, Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to say it.
Yeah.
Jonathan Toews is on there for everybody.
I would say so.
Everybody. One of the greatest Hawks of all time. And I've said it since he talked about it. If anyone's going to pull this off, it's him. And he got through one game. And look, almost 20 minutes of ice time. Like, power play, penalty kill, did everything. Went out there and was Jonathan Toews.
That's really cool. Seeing him get that ovation, get back on the ice. 910 days from today to the last time he played, which was the season finale of the 22-23 season against the Flyers at home. Almost had the game winner.
Oh, my God.
Almost had the game winner in that game. But, yeah, really cool to see Toews back. I'm rooting for him. We'll see him back here January 19th.
And Kempen says, talk about the Dickinson injury. We played Jeff Blashill. He had no update yet. Said they'll know more tomorrow, but said left the game. That wasn't awesome. That's the update we have.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, we are off tomorrow, and then we're back Saturday for the home opener. We're going to be out there at the red carpet event. We're going to be at the United Center all day. If you see us, say hello. Don't be weird. Don't take pictures of us and say you saw us. Actually walk up to us and say hello. We would appreciate that. Yeah, home opener, Montreal. They're coming to town. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it.
All right, Sean, thanks for running the show today on a very busy day at CHGO Blackhawks and CHGO in general. We'll talk to you Saturday post-game right here on a CHGO Blackhawks podcast powered by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.